सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। पठामि संस्कृतं नित्यं वदामि संस्कृतं सदा ध्यायामि संस्कृतं सम्यक् वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम्। Hari Om everyone. As always we will start with one shloka. Today the shloka that we are seeing is a very beautiful subhashita. Okay, so I will chant, repeat after. Amma, you can repeat after. Udaye savita raktah raktaschastamaye tatha sampattau cha vipattau cha महताम एक रूपता। टुगेदर उदये सविता रक्तः रक्तश्चास्तमये तथा संपत्तौ च विपत्तौ च महताम एक रूपता। Okay, now today we are going to do something different. Okay, before we see the meaning, let us see if we can understand the meaning. Okay, Udaya, have you heard this word Udaya before? Udaya means sunrise. Udaye, which vibhakti? Udaye saptami vibhakti, ekvachana, very good. So during the sunrise. Savita, have you heard this word Savita before? Savita means sun. The original word is Savitr. Savitr Rikaranta Pullinga Shabda. Like Pitr, Prathama Ekvachan becomes Pita. Like that, Savita. Many times, Savita is name given to a lady also. Okay, but actually in Sanskrit, it is a Pullinga Shabda. Because Savita is like Akaranta Strilinga Shabda, so many people give that, not realizing that it is actually Savitri Shabda. Rikaranta Shabda. Okay, it is not Akaranta Shabda. It is Rikaranta Shabda. Savita means sun. Raktaha means what? One meaning is blood. But Rakta is actually red. Very good. Because blood is also red, it is called Raktaha. Raktavarna means red color. So what is it saying now? Udaye, while rising, Savita, sun, Raktaha is red. Savita and Raktaha both are in Prathama Ekvachan. Correct? So one is the noun, another is subjective complement. Remember? Kartru Visheshaka. Not Visheshana, Visheshaka. I hope you remember. At the same time, Raktaha cha means and also red. Astamaye tatha. Astam means setting. Udaya, asta. Udaya means rising. Asta is setting. Even tatha, in the same way, even while setting, sun is red. Haven't we seen? All other times sun is yellow. But when it is rising and when it is setting, it is red, orange, dark orange, red in color. Now this simple fact of life which we see every day, the poet is comparing. And he says, Sampattau cha vipattau cha mahatam ekarupata. Sampatti means wealth. Sampattau, which vibhakti? Which vibhakti? No, not Dvitiya. Not Saptami. Correct. Very good. Saptami vibhakti. Sampatti. Ikaranta. Sampattau. Kavau. Matau. That one. Saptami ekvachan. Sampattau. In wealth. Means what? In prosperity. Vipatti. Again, seventh case. Vipatti means difficult times, calamity. Isn't it? Vipattau, in calamity. So, in prosperity and in calamity, mahatam. Mahat means great people. Mahan, mahantau, mahantaha. Mahat, takaranta shabda. Mahatam, shashti bahuvachan. Mahatam, of the great people, in prosperity and in calamity, ekarupata. They are same in both. You see what the poet is doing? The great people are compared with sun. So the rise of sun, they are comparing when the great people are having prosperity. Good times are going on. And setting of sun is compared with the bad times or the calamities. And the poet says that just as while rising and while setting the sun is red in both places, in the same way, whether good times are going on or bad times are going on, great people always exhibit same property. Wicked people, what do? When they are rising, they get ego. You know who I am? I am a great person. And when the difficult time comes, then they become helpless. No. Okay? So, mahatam ekarupata. Now, did you realize what has just happened? You were able to make the meaning out of a shloka without anybody giving translation. Very good. As always, what we do, raise your right hand. Turn it, bend it, and then pat yourself. Well done. You have done good job. Well done. What has happened? We are able to understand the meaning. Okay, let us see the meaning that we have already seen. Udaye, while rising, Savita, the sun, Raktaha, is red. Chatatha, and also Astamaye, while setting, Raktaha, it is also red. Sampattau cha vipattau cha, in the same way, in prosperity and in calamity, mahatam ekarupata, great people remain same. So overall meaning, just as while rising and while setting the sun is same, red, in the same way the great people are same in behavior, in prosperity and also in calamity. Okay? The Subhashita always tells us a fact. But it also guides us how we should live. So how we should be, we should also remain same. Just because good times are going on with me and bad times are going on with somebody else, don't start treating people badly. Why? Because times change. Time never remains same. And especially earlier also we have seen this chanchala, this prosperity, this money, wealth is chanchala. Lakshmi she doesn't remain. It is there today with you. Tomorrow it will go away from you to somebody else. Right? So please remain humble, whether good times are going on or bad times are going on. Look at the sun. It remains red, whether it is rising or whether it is setting. For us it may be, oh nice, rising. Oh, so sad it is setting. For us it may be different, but sun remains same. Okay? Nice Subhashita. Let us go forward. Let us go back to our grammar. So far we have seen We saw long introduction of Sanskrit language. We understood what are the alphabets, how many 50 alphabets are there, and how many swaras, how many vyanjanas, how many ayogavahas, how are they written, how are they to be pronounced. We saw all that. Then we saw in brief introduction of everything. What do you mean by vibhakti, vachana, purusha, linga? Introduction we saw. Then we took up one main topic of avyaya, indeclinables. And in detail we saw all kinds of avyayas. We saw some 12 types of avyayas we have seen. Then we came to the topic of vibhakti, the declension forms. We went through the sapta vibhakti, the 7 cases, 7 declensions and their usages. And then we also saw in detail all the noun forms. We saw Ajanta Nama, we saw Halanta Nama, we saw Sarvanama, we saw all kinds of forms. Now we are starting the topic of verbs. In the last session, we started this topic. We saw this, let us just revise. So, Tinganta, Subanta is seen. Now, Tinganta. Tinganta means Kriya or Kriyapada or verb. Now, this Kriyapada, what is the address? This is the address. How do you explain a Kriyapada? What do you know when the Kriyapada is given? When the Kriyapada is given, we know 6 things. Dhatu, Gana, Pada, Lakara, Purusha, Vachana. What is the root? That root belongs to which Gana class? And also which Pada, which group? Okay? This Pada, Parasmay Pada, Atmane Pada, Ubhay Pada, earlier also we have seen. What kind of dress that Dhatu is going to wear? Parasmay Pada Dhatu will wear Parasmay Pada Pratyaya. Atmane Pada Dhatu will wear Atmane Pada Pratyaya. And Ubhaya Pada with Dhatu can wear any of the two. It can wear Parasmay Pada Pratyaya also and Atmane Pada Pratyaya also. Pratyaya suffix. Right? We have seen this. Then we came to Lakara. We have not seen in detail. We just understood this. Lakara is tenses and moods. We have 6 tenses and 4 moods in Sanskrit which we will be seeing. 10 Lakaras we will be seeing. Then there is Purusha. Purusha means person. First person, second person, third person. Third person is Prathama Purusha. Second person is Madhyama Purusha. First person is Uttama Purusha. In this order we study. First the third person, then the second person, then the first person. And lastly we saw Vachana. Vachana means number, singular, dual, plural, etc. We saw for noun forms and for verbs, the only common thing is Vachana. Correct? For noun forms, there is Pratipadika, there is Anta, there is Linga, there is Vibhakti and Vachana. That Vachana is common. So verb will always follow, earlier also we have seen, whatever is in Prathama. Isn't it? Verb always follows whatever is in Prathama. So if Prathama Vibhakti word, Karta, is singular, verb will also be singular. Saha gacchati. If the Prathama Vibhakti word is in dual, tau, then the verb also will go to dual. Gacchataha, both of them are going. And if the Prathama Vibhakti word is in plural, sahatau te, then the verb also will go to plural. Gacchanti, they are going. Okay, so this we have seen. Example, Pathati. The address, how do we write? Path. 1P means Prathamagana Parasmay Pada. Lat Lakara Vartaman Kala. Prathama Purush Ekvachan. You understand the short forms? 1P means what? Prathamagana Parasmay Pada. Prapu eva means what? Prathama Purusha Ekavachana. Madhyama Purusha Dvivachana. Uttama Purusha Bahuvachana. Like that it will go. Upu, Bhava, all these kind of short forms we will write. Avidye, vid dhatu, Chaturthagana Atmane Pada, Lang Lakar. Lang means past tense. Uttama Purusha Ekvachana. Ham avidye, I came to know. Okay. So this is how it is. We also understood when a verb has a meaning, that meaning comes from where all? Meaning comes from dhatu. Dhatu will have its own meaning. It comes from lakara. It gives tense or mood. then Purusha and Vachana. Everybody will add meaning. And that is why in Sanskrit, sometimes when you mention dhatu, when you mention verb, meaning is clear. Namami. When I say namami, namami tells what all things. Namami comes from dhatu nam. Nam means to salute, to prostrate. So one meaning is clear, that namami is something to do with salutations. Right? Lat lakara, present tense. Which Purusha? Uttama Purusha. And Ekavachana. So namami itself says, I salute. See, the verb is ready. I salute. You don't have to specially say aham namami. That aham may not be mentioned. If it is mentioned, very good. Even if it is not mentioned. Why? Because Uttama Purusha. Uttama Purusha has only one karta. That is aham. If dual, then both of us. Plural, then all of us. Okay. That is how it is. Dhatu is adding meaning. Lakara is adding its meaning. Purusha is adding its meaning. And Vachana is adding its meaning. The same way how in the noun forms we saw Pratipadika, base has its own meaning, Vibhakti adds its own meaning, Vachana adds its own meaning. In the same way here also. Right? We have seen that. Next, we also saw the sentence. In a sentence, verb is the main important thing. Why? If you understand the verb, in connection with that verb, you will understand the rest of the things. First, you should catch his verb. What is the verb of the sentence? Okay. Then all the other meaning will become clear. We also understood a verb can tell what the person does, what happens to that person, and what the person is. Remember, this is what we have seen. I am not going to explain further. Then we also understood about dhatu. Dhatu. What is dhatu? Verbal root. So kriya is made from dhatu and ting pratyaya. Ting is a set of pratyayas. We will see what are these pratyayas. Just as sup pratyayas, you remember? Pratipadika plus sup pratyayas created nouns. Yes, suaujas, amautshas. Those 21 pratyayas, vibhakti vachana wise. Right? In the same way here, verbs are created from dhatu by adding ting pratyaya. What is this dhatu? Dhatu is a foundational, fundamental for formation of any verb. Dhatu is basic thing. Many verbal forms come from each verbal root. One example, pat, and so many forms. Patati, patasi, patami, patishyati, patishyasi, patishami, apatat, apataha, apatam, pathet, pathehe, patheyam, patatu, patha. And we also last time saw, according to the number of lakaras and number of Purusha pratyayas, in each Purusha pratyaya 9 forms. Such 10 lakaras, 90 forms can be made of Parasmaipada dhatu, 90 forms for Atmanepada dhatu, and 180 forms for Ubhayapada dhatu. One example of Ubhayapada dhatu is kr, karoti, karomi, etc. 180 forms can be made from same dhatu. 180 forms means 180 verbs. See, that is why Sanskrit is such a rich language. Okay, so you imagine now how many total dhatus are there? 2104 dhatus are there. Okay, 2104 dhatus are there. In these many dhatus, imagine each dhatu can have minimum 90 forms. Minimum 90. Every dhatu will have 90 forms minimum. If it is Ubhayapada, double. So you imagine how many verbs are created now? 2000 into 90. And there are other ways by which more number of dhatus can be created. From one dhatu, another dhatu is created. It is called sanadyanta. San adi. So you see, that is why Sanskrit becomes such a rich language. But still it is simple. Why? Because dhatu is same. Once we understand the formula, any dhatu you bring and any form you make, we will be able to understand the meaning. Okay, that is why this is such a wonderful thing. All right. So We also saw even Pratipadikas can be created from dhatu. We saw Ram dhatu creates Rama, Kr dhatu creates Kara, and so many dhatus create so many base Pratipadikas also. Right? That is also there. These dhatus are divided into 10 ganas and 3 padas. This much we have seen. Now we have to go forward and see this. Just give me 1 minute. Yes. So now we are going to see Gana. Gana means class. So we saw by default, dhatus, 2104 dhatus are divided into 10 ganas, 10 groups. You can think of it like not like first standard, second standard, etc. Because see, first standard, second standard is like a sequential thing. No, it's not that kind, but it is 10 groups. You can imagine as 10 classes. A division, B division, C division, D division, like that. Suppose there are 10 classes. Okay, not decided based on merit or anything. Okay. That is also very important. Nowadays in schools, A division are the most intelligent people, so-called intelligent, and then D division is the supposedly all the kind of people who all kind of students who don't listen. Not that kind of division. Okay, what kind of properties do they possess? That way they are divided. So dhatus are divided into 10 ganas. Okay, simple way to understand ganas is prathama gana, dvitiya gana, tritiya gana, chaturtha gana, panchama gana, shashtha gana, saptama gana, ashtama gana, navama gana, dashama gana. Means first gana, second gana, third gana, etc. Okay. Now each of these ganas have got a particular name. Bhwadi, Adadi, Juhotyadi, Divadi, Swadi, Tudadi, Rudhadi, Tanadi, Kriyadi, Churadi. These are the names given. Vedji, what is this? What kind of names are these? Very simple. Adi, all of them are ending with Adi. Can you see that? Adi means beginning with. So Bhwadi means Bhu Adi. In simple English, etc. So the first dhatu of the gana is named, and then you add etc. Bhu Adi, that gana becomes Bhwadi gana. Ad Adi, Adadi gana. Hu, that is Juhu. Juhu Adi, Juhotyadi gana. Diva Adi, Divadi gana. Su Adi, Swadi gana. Tudadi, Rudhadi, Tanadi, Kriyadi, Kriyadi, Chur Adi, Churadi. What Panini has done is, these 2104 dhatus are written in sequence. Based on what he has created sequence, that you will understand when you go deeper into Panini's grammar. There is a reason why there is a particular sequence. One simple principle of sequencing is gana wise it is divided. There is no doubt about it. So all the Bhwadi gana, Prathama gana dhatus will be in the beginning. Then second gana, then third gana, then fourth gana. Like that 10 gana dhatus are there. And each gana starts with this dhatu. This is the first dhatu of that gana. Starting from there up to the next one, it is gana. So Bhwadi gana starts from Bhu, and before Ad, whatever dhatus are there, all of them are in first gana, Prathama gana. Okay. Now question is, why he has done this kind of classification? Because all dhatus that exhibit similar properties, they have similar forms, are put together. The forms will change. Let me give example. Next is Gana Chinna. Can you see Gana Chinna? Chinna means symbol. Symbol of that Gana. This Gana Chinna, ya, nu, na, u, na, aya. These Gana Chinnas are added after the dhatu to create a form. Okay? So if the dhatu is Prathama Gana dhatu, for example, Bhu, Bhubhava, Gamagacha, Patha dhatu, Nama dhatu, all of them you have to add bhava, and then you add ti pratyaya, bhavati. But Ashtamagana dhatu, kr is there, kr, kar. Kar dhatu form is not becoming karati. The form is karoti. Why? Because u is getting added in between. Understand the difference. Patha dhatu, form is pathati. Kara dhatu, kar, form is not karati. Form is karoti. Vid dhatu or div dhatu, for example, divyate rather. Now how that ya is added? That ya is added for all the Chaturtha Gana dhatus. Vidyate, bhidyate, chidyate. Why? All of them are fourth Gana. So ya is added. Original dhatu is bhid, vid, div. But when making forms, something is added. So all those dhatus which have similar properties, they are clubbed together. Okay? This much is clear? Understanding? See, we don't have to worry about why that dhatu is in that particular Gana. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just understand that there are 10 classes in which these 2000 dhatus are segregated. Right? And number of dhatus which are there in each Gana, that also I have mentioned. And if you see, 1077 dhatus are in first Gana itself. So out of 2104, more than 50% is in first Gana itself. Why? Most common, everything put together. And if you notice, I have highlighted 4. Prathama Gana, Chaturtha Gana, Shashtha Gana and Dashama Gana. Ya, and Aya. If you take these 4, these are the 4 maximum dhatus. The Gana with maximum dhatus. So first Gana has got maximum 1077. Second is 10th Gana, 458 dhatus. Then 169, 6th Gana and 146, 4th Gana. These are the main Ganas that we are studying. If we cover this, rest of are only, what we say, exceptions. Very, very rarely used dhatus. Okay. Also, these 4 Ganas have got very simple formula. See, they are ending with a, ya. These are ending with na, u, na, etc. There are lots of complications involved with forming. Whereas for first, 4th, 6th and 10th, there are not many complications. Just understand this much. Each dhatu is coming in one of the 10 Ganas. And we can explain why that dhatu has different kind of form depending on which Gana it belongs to. This much you understand, that is sufficient. Don't worry about why, etc. Okay, that much you understand. There are 10 Ganas. Okay, 1, 4, 6, 10 we are going to study. Let us understand little bit more. Now whatever we have seen just now, I have just put it in writing. Each Gana is named after its first dhatu. So Bhwadi is Bhu Adi. Adi means beginning with Bhu. That is Bhu, etc. Okay. Second point. To remember the names, there is a verse. Sanskrit language is like that only. Everything is in verse format. Easy to remember. Bhadyada dijuhotyadi divadi swadi revacha tudadischa rudhadischa tanakrya adichuradayah. Will you repeat? Will you repeat? Okay, repeat. Bhvadyadadi juhotyadi divadi swadirevacha tudadischa rudhadischa tanakryadichuradayah. Okay, once more we'll chant together. Bhvadyadadi juhotyadi divadi swadirevacha tudadischa rudhadischa tanakryadichuradayah. If you memorize this verse, you will remember the names of 10 ganas in order. Bhvadi, adadi, juhotyadi, divadi, swadi, 5 over, tudadi, rudhadi, tanadi, kryadi, churadi, over, 10 over. Can you see that? In the same order. Bhvadi, adadi, juhotyadi, divadi, the swadi, tudadi, rudhadi, tanadi, kryadi, and final is churadi. These are the 10 ganas. If you want to remember, you remember. Otherwise, ignore. Next point. Prathama gana has over 51% of total dhatus. Already we have seen 1077 out of 2104. Next point. Sarvadhatuka ganas. This also we mentioned. Sarvadhatuka means mostly many dhatus are coming in one place and exhibiting same properties. First, fourth, sixth and 10th ganas. What are they? Bhvadi, divadi, tudadi and churadi. 1, 4, 6, 10. Over 88% of the total dhatus are in this group. Okay, are in this group. Similar forms. They exhibit lot of similar forms and they are more important. Therefore, we will be focusing more on these Sarvadhatuka ganas because 88% of the total dhatus will be covered. Ardha Dhatuka ganas are remaining. 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Only 254 dhatus are there in total. They have unusual forms and they are less important. Okay. Less important means rarely use. Some dhatus will be there from this gana which are important, which we will study. Don't worry. As dhatu, for example, from 2nd gana. Asti, asmi. Important dhatu, often used, we will study. Kru dhatu, 8th gana, we will study. Okay. Some dhatus which need to be studied, we will study. But other than that, mostly everything will have same forms. You study one dhatu, many of the same category you will be able to form yourself. Okay. That is next point. Gana chinna, identification mark for a class. We have said added between dhatu and pratyaya. And that's why pat plus a plus ti becomes pathati. Kar plus u, a also is there, plus u plus ti, karoti. Okay. Gana chinna is also added. And in that first chart, we have also mentioned Gana chinna. Simple to remember for 1, 4, 6, 10, Gana chinnas are very easy to remember. A, ya, aya. A, ya, aya. So because first and sixth both have Gana chinna a, again they will be of same nature. Their forms will be very, very similar. Right? So a, ya and aya, these three kind of forms we are going to see. Alright, chalo. Next. Next comes important topic of lakar. Lakar. Tenses and moods. So just as there are 10 ganas, dhatus are divided into those 10 ganas, and they are also having particular pada, parasmay pada, atmane pada, ubhay pada, etc. we have seen. Now, each dhatu can become a verb by using one of these 10 lakaras. Okay. What are the names of these lakaras? Very interesting names are there. Lat, lit, lut, late, lit, late, lot. So ta is over. Now lang, ling, vidhiling, ashirling, lung and lrung. No, what? This is why I don't like Sanskrit. This is just such a complicated. No, it is very easy because everything is connected. No, la. That's why it is called a lakara. Everything that starts with l. And if you carefully notice, lat, lit, e, lut, u, lrt, r, late. Late doesn't have number. I will tell you why. But basically these four, lat, lit, lut, lrt, these are a, e, u, r. Swaras that we have studied. Same way here also lung, ling, lung, lrung. Extra is there, lot. That is it. What are these things? These are the names given to the tenses and moods. So lat means present tense. Lat means present tense. Okay. So in the address we had seen, no, say pathati, patha dhatu, prathama gana, parasmai pada, lat lakar. Lat means present tense. Present tense. In Sanskrit, present tense means vartamana kalaha. Vartamana present, kalaha tense, present tense. There is only one present tense in Sanskrit. Veji, in Sanskrit means? In English grammar, there are many kinds of present tenses. Isn't it? Simple present, present perfect, continuous present. These are different kinds of present tenses in English. I go, I am going, then I have gone. Thank you. Because it is have, it is present. I had gone, past perfect. Don't take my examination for English. I am not very good at it. I am just trying to explain to you. In Sanskrit, there is only one present tense, and that is lat. Okay. Lit is perfect past tense. They are past perfect. Sanskrit, it is called anadyatana paroksha bhutakala. Adyatana means today. Anadyatana means not today. Something that happened in the past, not today past, before today. Paroksha, before. And lit, paroksha means distant past. Lit lakar. You actually have heard these verbs of lit lakar. Let me give some examples. Uvacha. Have you heard this word uvacha? Yes, so many times. Shri Bhagavan uvacha, Arjuna uvacha, Vaishampayana uvacha, Bhishma uvacha. Uvacha, what is this uvacha? Vach dhatu. Vach dhatu. To speak. Distant past. Somebody said. Long back. Not today. Distant past. That is anadyatana paroksha bhutkala. Perfect past tense, that is long back. Uvacha, babhuva. This is also something that you have heard. Babhuva. Ramo nama babhuva. Once there was a king by the name Rama. You remember we have seen that shloka. Ramo nama babhuva tadabala siteti That babhuva was there. That is lit. Bhudhatu. Bhavati is there. Babhuva. Long back was there. One kind of past tense. Lut and lrt are future tenses. First future tense and second future tense. What do you mean by that? Anadyatana bhavishyat. Bhavishyat means future. Anadyatana means not today. In future, starting from tomorrow. That is lut. And simple, it can be today, tomorrow, anytime. That is lrt. Both are future tenses. I am just introducing, okay? Don't worry. One by one we will take these and then you will understand how these are working. So lrt means simple future tense, no? Or second future tense, simple. Bhavishyati. This is the verb that you have heard. Bhavishyati. Idam, what is that 16th chapter? Idam adyamaya labdham imam prapse manoratham prapse. That prapse is lrit, bhavishyat kala. Okay. Bhavishyati, it will happen, it will become. All this is what? Bhavishya, future tense. Okay. Late is not given number because it doesn't come in dasha lakaras, because it is only for Vedic usage. We don't use it. We don't use it for Laukika Sanskrit. Okay. So it is there but not there for us. Alright. So first four, lat, lit, lut, lit, present tense, perfect past, future, second future. Lot, now this is mood, imperative mood. Ajñarthaka, Ajñarthaka means order. You want to give order, you use lot lakara. These verbs also you have seen. Pashya, Pashyame partha rupani, Shatashota sahasrasha, Nana vidhani divyani, Pashya. Kuru, another verb. Kuru, yathechhasi tatha kuru. Imperative mode, lot lakara. Okay. Many verbs we have already seen. Don't worry. Okay. Lot lakara, imperative. Lung, imperfect past tense. This was long time past. Lung is imperfect. Anadyatana bhutakala. Not today, but recently. Aham apashyat, abhavat, apathat. Aham apashyam, not pashyat. Saha apashyat. Okay. Lung. Vidhiling, another mood which is called potential mood. Vidyarthaka. Vidhi means what? It would happen, he would do it, that kind of thing. Not that he should do it. That should is lot. Imperative. This is potential. He would do it. Okay. Vidhiling. Ashirling, benedictive. Ashir arthakaha. May you have all auspiciousness. May you be happy. May your path be glorious. When I have to explain something like this, the verb that we use is ashirling. Okay. Then ninth is lung. Aorist past tense, third past tense. Bhuta samanyam. It can be today, yesterday, before, any time. Lit was distant past. Lit is distant past. Lung is past tense but not today. Imperfect past. And lung is aorist past. And the last one, lrung, is subjunctive mood. Hetu hetumat bhavartaka means what? If this happens, then that will happen. That kind of meaning comes. Hetu, it depends on cause. It is not a simple verb. It would have been, that kind of thing. If it would have been like this, then it would have been like that. That kind of thing comes in lrung lakara. So 10 lakaras, main lakaras are what way? Are what? Lat, lit, lut, lrit, lot, lung, vidhiling, ashirling, lung, lrung. Late is there but is only for Vedic, therefore we don't count it. Okay. In these 10 lakaras also, if you notice, we have highlighted 5. One present tense, one past tense, one future tense, and 2 moods. So out of 6 tenses, we have taken 3. One present, one past, one future. And out of 4 moods, we have taken 2 moods. Why we have selected these? Because again, they are mostly used lakaras. Mostly if you cover these 5 lakaras, you would have covered 90% of verbs. Okay. So we will be studying only these 5 lakaras. We are not going to study remaining 5. We are only going to study 5 out of 10. Okay. Generally, when the exam comes closer, we start keeping some portion for option. Option. There is certain portion that I am going to put efforts, certain portion is left for God. Whatever He wishes will happen. Like that we are going to study 5 lakaras. 5 lakaras are given for option God. You see. Not like that, but because these are easy, we will study them. Once we understand this, even if the other lakaras are coming in picture, we will be able to understand what this is. We may not be exactly pinpoint or create a verb, etc., but we will know what kind of form it is going to have. Okay? 10 lakaras. Now again, some important things about these 10 lakaras that we have seen. I am just noting it down. There are 6 tenses and 4 moods indicated as 10 lakaras. What are they? Again a verse. It will come. Why they are called as lakaras? Because they are all starting with l. Lut, lit, lut, lrit, late. Usually used only in Vedas, nowhere else. Lot, lung, ling. Ling has 2, vidhiling and ashirling. Lung and lrung. So sometimes they will say dasha lakara, 10 lakaras. If they include late, then for both they are only referring to 1. Then again it will be 10. And if you don't include late, vidhiling, ashirling separately you mention, still there are 10 lakaras. Okay? Next. How do you remember these 10 lakaras? Again one verse is there explaining what are these 10 lakaras. Okay? Lateka vartamane syad bhute langlung lidavapi bhavishyati lut litau अन्ये तु भाववाचिनः. I will chant, please repeat after me. Lateko vartamane syat bhute langlung lidavapi bhavishyati lut lritau अन्ये तु भाववाचिनः. So what is the verse saying? Lat ekah vartamane syat. In present tense, there is only one lakara, that is lat. Bhute, for past tense, there are 3. Lang, lung, lit. Lang is the one that we are going to study. Anadyatana bhutakala. Lung is general past tense and lit is distant past tense. 3 kinds of past tense. Bhute, lang, lung, litau api. Lung litau api. So lung litau is put in dvivachana. Lung litau api. Bhavishyati. Future tense are 2. Lut and lrit. Bhavishyati lut lritau. Anye tu bhavavachinah. The remaining are moods. What are the remaining? Lot, vidhiling, ashirling, lrung. They are what? Bhavavachi. They are moods. They are not tenses. 6 tenses. In 6 tenses also, what is the division? 1 in present tense, lat. 3 in past tense, lung, lung, lit. And 1 in future tense, 2 in future tense, lut and lrit. 1, 3, 2. 1 in present, 3 in past, 2 in future. And remaining 4 are moods. Okay. Those people who study Sanskrit take at least 1 year to study this. So what we are studying, don't get overwhelmed. Oh, so suddenly too many things are there. That is because we are new to it. Once we get used to it, it will be fine. When you are new to Vedanta, suddenly there will be too many words. What is this Maya also, and Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, and Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karan Sharira. So many words are there. But once you get used to it, all these words are rightly placed. Not only you will understand, you start using those words also. Okay. Similarly, these things are new and therefore it is sometimes overwhelming. Oh, what is happening? Please give some time. As we keep using, you will become familiar with all these. Lat, vartamana, lang, lung, lit, bhutakala, lut, lrit, bhavishyat kala. And 4 bhavavachi, moods, Lot, Vidiling, Ashirling and Lrung. Okay, that is how they are. Just writing it down, 6 Kalavachaka lakaras, 6 lakaras which are indicating time. Lat, Vartamana. Lang, Lung, Lit, Bhutkala. Lut, Lrit, Bhavishyakala. 4 Bhavavachaka lakaras. Lot, imperative mode. Vidhiling. Vidhiling is Vidhi, Vidyarthaka. Ashirling means benedictory. Lrung, if and then Hetu, Hetumat Bhav. Okay, so 6 tenses, 4 moods. 6 tenses, 4 moods. Now, out of these 10, we are going to study, let us first Sarvadhatuka lakaras. Lat, Lang, Lot, Vidhiling. 2 from time, 2 from this and 2 from this are Sarvadhatuka lakaras. They have similar forms. Just as Sarvadhatuka Gana was there, no? Same way Sarvadhatuka lakaras. Remaining 6 are in Arthadhatuka. But we are going to study 5. All these 4 we are going to study, plus from here we are going to study future, Lrit. Okay, in Sarvadhatuka only present tense, past tense, imperative mode and Vidhi Arthaka. Okay, future is not there. So future also we have taken Lrit, and these are the 5 lakaras that we will be studying. Lat lakara present tense, Lang lakara past tense, Lrit lakara future tense, Lot lakara imperative mode and Vidhiling lakara. Okay, these are the things that we are going to see. All right, let me just see. Let us just finish one more important thing and then we will stop. So we have seen so far that dhatu, 2104 dhatus are divided into 10 ganas. Okay, so each dhatu is associated with one gana and one pada, parasmay pada or atmane pada, etc. Correct? There are 10 lakaras that the dhatu can go into and take different forms. So as per the lakara, which tense we are talking about, and pada, whether it is parasmay pada or atmane pada, there are 9 pratyayas each. How this 9 has come? Very simple, 3 by 3 matrix. 3 persons are there. Prathama Purusha, 3rd person, Madhyama Purusha, 2nd person, Uttama Purusha, 1st person. And then there are 3 numbers, singular, dual and plural. So based on that, there are 9 pratyayas for each lakara and each pada. Let me explain. Prathama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha, Uttama Purusha. Ekavachana, Dvivachana, Bahuvachana. When we were studying nouns, if you remember, there were 7 vibhaktis here. Correct? 7 vibhaktis and 3 vachanas. So 21 pratyayas were there, which were called as supanta, sup pratyaya, sup. Suauja, samaucha, stabhyam, bhis, ngebhyam, bhas, ngasibhyam, bhyas, ngas, os, am, ni, os, sup. 21 pratyayas. We had seen, once we had seen. Now in the same way, there are ting pratyayas. Ting pratyayas. How many are there? 18 ting pratyayas are there. 21 sup pratyayas were there. 7 vibhaktis into 3 vachanas. Now here, ting pratyayas are 18. 9 for parasmay pada and 9 for atmane pada. Okay? 9 for parasmay pada, 9 for atmane pada. What are these ting pratyayas? Tiptasji, sipthastha, mipvasmas, ta atam jha, thas atham dhvam, idvahi mahing. We don't have to memorize this. Just remember that these are the original pratyayas which are converted into some form which are added later on. Just as there were suaujas, amauchas which we don't remember, but we remember Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha. Correct? That Ramaha is what? Rama plus su is Ramaha. How that and all we are not going to study. From that su, u drops, then half sa remains. So Rama plus sa, Ramas. Then that sa comes at the end. So sa changes to ra changes to visarga. Final form is formed, Ramaha. Au, su au. Rama plus au, akara gets dropped. Ram plus au, Ramau. Just, for just what happens? That just, so many such rules are there. There are Paniniya rules, etc., because of which each pratyaya changes different forms it takes, and then it gets added, and we have final rupas. We are again, as we are done in the case of nouns, here also we are going to deal with the final rupas. We are not going to think about how this rupa is formed. We have to just remember these are the basic pratyas. For Parasmaipada, these are 9 pratyas. Tiptas, siptastam, ipvasmas. For Atmanepada, there are 9 pratyas. Ta, atam, jatha, satham, dvam, idvahi, mahing. There is one Paniniya Sutra giving this entire, these all 18 pratyas. Okay. This is the sutra. Tiptas, siptastam, ipvasmas. Ta, atam, jatha, satham, dvam, idvahi, mahing. Okay. All Parasmaipada and Atmanepada. Now what will happen? We will take up each lakara. First we will take lat lakara. Lat is present tense. We will understand what is the meaning of present tense. We will understand how the verb is formed. And then we will actually take some examples and form Parasmaipada dhatu, Parasmaipada kriya and also Atmanepada kriyas based on Parasmaipada dhatu and Atmanepada dhatu. Okay, so for lat lakara, we will have Parasmaipada pratyas separately, Atmanepada pratyas separately. You might have heard, if you have studied Sanskrit in school, etc., Titah anti, Sithah tha, Ami avah amaha. Remember something like this? Those who have studied in school, that is what is lat lakara Parasmaipada pratyas. This tip becomes ti, tas becomes taha, ji becomes anti. How, etc.? Leave it. Sip, si, thus becomes tha, tha. Mi, vaha, maha. Vasmas is vaha, maha. And then you have forms. Patati, patatah, patanti. Patasi, patatah, patatha. Pathami, pathavah, pathama. Many of you may remember these forms. Te ite ante, se ite dve, I vahe mahe. Atmanepada. Okay. That is how finally the verbs are formed. There are only 18 pratyas. According to each lakara, these 18 pratyas will be changed into something which is palatable, which can be added directly with dhatu and ganachinna. We will see that. From the next class, we will take up one lakara in every class. We have to just study 5 lakaras. Okay? Lat, vartaman kala, present tense. Lang, past tense. Then lrit, future tense. Lot, imperative mood, and vidhiling. Only 5 lakaras we will see. And since we have taken prathama gana, chaturtha gana, shashtha gana, and dashama gana, but in that also prathama and shashta are similar forms, only. So we will take 3 examples. One for prathama gana, one from chaturtha gana, and one from dashama gana for Parasmaipada. Same way 3 examples for Atmanepada. Okay, and that way we will go through the next 5 classes studying 5 lakaras. After we finish that, then we will see some general dhatus which we use, mostly used dhatus, and we will see all their forms. And we will conclude with the topic of verbs. Okay, don't get overwhelmed because it is new, therefore it looks very difficult. It is not difficult, it is very easy. Once we get hang of it, and the purpose for which we are studying, the purpose is Shastra-study. Don't forget that. As long as that you remember, this or all will become very easy. You don't have to remember all the forms, you just have to understand Shastra. When it says apashyat, what do you mean? Apashyat comes from drisha pashya dhatu. A is added. Apashyat means it is bhutkala. Ta, half ta is prathama purusha ekavachana. So apashyat means he saw. Bas. Pashya dhatu is for seeing, to see. Because past tense, saw. And pratham purush ekvachan, therefore, he or she saw. If you can understand this much, job is done. Okay? So don't worry at all. Everything will become clear as the time goes. Okay? Chalo. Let us stop for today. We will continue in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.